Hey guys, what day is it, Mike? Woot woot! Hump day. It's hump day, and I have a hump day editorial for you. I'm going to bring it to you. This editorial here just proves that as long as you don't use lethal force, you can pretty much do anything you want as a cop and get away with it. Yeah, because when you use lethal force, it's kind of a crapshoot because we do know officers, law enforcement officers who have used lethal force that were sentenced to prison. So that's kind of a crapshoot. You kill somebody, you're kind of like, oh man, I hope I did the right thing. But as long as you don't kill them, you just beat their ass or hold them at gunpoint when you're off duty, you're fine. Yeah, good cop. Hold them down, buddy. That's what this editorial is going to prove. Again, thank you, Candace Nguyen, for this story. Before I get to it, I do want to kind of give you a little bit of a background before I get to it. So last year, you had an off-duty police officer, which I'm going to go over, hold somebody at gunpoint over a confrontation. There was a internal affairs investigation, which they just came to a conclusion of. That's why I'm giving you this. It's not a new story, but it's new that they just concluded their internal affairs investigation. We're going to see if this guy gets dinged with anything or not. We're going to see what happens to him. But this year in May, that same officer, while being investigated for 2018 incident, walks up on a military veteran who was recording him. Remember that? The motorcycle military veteran, and knocks him to the ground for recording him. Man, you're interfering with me. You shouldn't be doing that. Beat his ass, remember that? And then he was released, and they said, no, he did, it was okay, nothing wrong. He went back on patrol. Well, Internal Affairs was investigating him for the 2018 incident. We're going to see what they say right here. We're going to, is it Vallejo? It's spelled Vallejo, but it's, I think, pronounced Vallejo, California. I'm going to bring this editorial. SJVT, why aren't you doing this editorial? It's up in your neighborhood, I believe. So anyway, we're going to Vallejo, California. I'm going to give it to you. Speaking of internal affairs complaints, let me tell you how far they go. Yeah, that's what they do with internal affairs complaints. So go into Vallejo. A Vallejo police officer who was sued this month for excessive force after holding a man at gunpoint during a minor argument outside a pizzeria is back on patrol. He was exonerated by the department's internal affairs unit. Fox 2 investigates, has learned. The June 3rd internal affairs document reveals Officer David McLaughlin was cleared of the allegations of use of force to effect an arrest. As to two other allegations of unreasonable and unwarranted force, unauthorized or unlawful fighting, threatening, or attempting to inflict bodily harm on another, investigators determined the claims were unfounded, which means there wasn't enough evidence to prove the allegations. Of course there wasn't. Now, that's a June 3rd internal affairs document. And what happened this month is he's now being sued by people for these things. So this guy's now being sued. So I wonder what's going to happen with that. Is he going to be civilly liable? Obviously, he's not criminally liable or policy liable because they said there wasn't enough evidence, which means, see this? I see nothing. See no evil, hear no evil. That's what these internal affairs units are. We investigated our own, and we found no wrongdoing. No shit. So moving on, the conclusion comes after an 8-month internal investigation by the police department, not by the sheriff's department, not by the California Highway Patrol's investigative unit, not by the FBI, by his own police department, into the August 11, 2018 encounter where Santiago Hutchins accused Vallejo police officer David McLaughlin of excessive force when he unlawfully brandished his gun before taking him to the ground and striking him, Hutchins repeatedly in the head. The incident took place in the middle of the day in the parking lot of Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria at the Encina Grande shopping complex. Video captured by an onlooker and first reported by 2 Investigates, which is that Fox 2, shows McLaughlin, who was off duty at the time, dressed in shorts and a white t-shirt, pointing a gun at Hutchins, who had his hands raised above his head. According to the lawsuit, as the 2 men passed each other, there was a tense exchange over nothing substantive. Both Hutchins and Walnut Creek police who investigated the incident described it as an escalation with both men posturing. What are you looking at? McLaughlin's got an attitude, I believe. I believe that. At some point, McLaughlin identified himself as a police officer and pointed his weapon at Hutchins because all he has to do is say, "I'm a cop, so you better back off, or I'll beat your ass. I can get away with it." McLaughlin, he didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. McLaughlin then allegedly said Hutchins would be charged with a crime and taken to jail. Of course he did. That's how they are. McLaughlin then ordered Hutchins to get on his knees before the sheriff's deputy, also off duty. They were probably, I don't know. Comes up behind Hutchins and takes him to the ground, the lawsuit alleges. Now, immediately after the plaintiff, Mr. Hutchins, was on the ground, defendant, Officer McLaughlin, began to intentionally target his head and other areas with repeated first strikes, the lawsuit states. Defendant McLaughlin also slammed plaintiff's head on the asphalt multiple times, the lawsuit states. Hutchins also alleges that he was never interviewed by the Vallejo Police Department's Internal Affairs Unit despite filing a claim. Don't worry, look, even when they interview you, they tell you, because I filed an internal affairs complaint, and they were like, well, because it's a disciplinary action, we can't let you know the outcome. I already know the outcome. You're going to wipe your ass with it and flush it. Hutchins also alleges he was never interviewed. Yeah, I said that. So there's more to this story if you read down here. I'm going to put the link to this whole story in the description box below. Shoot, I'm at the bottom. But in a statement to 2 Investigates, Tuesday, that's this yesterday, Vallejo Interim Police Chief Joe Alio wrote, the Vallejo Police Department's Internal Affairs Unit conducted a thorough investigation. Yeah, thorough. Nope, nothing there. Yeah, I do a thorough check of my counter when I'm wiping it for ants. Conducted a thorough investigation of the excessive force claim. This investigation examined extensive evidence, including a full statement given by the complainant to the Walnut Creek Police Department, as well as all video and audio records of the incident. Alio said investigators found no evidence that McLaughlin violated the department's use of force policies. Hutchins says, quote, definitely not surprised. I wasn't interviewed, so it's police policing police. If you weren't interviewed, then yeah, it was. McLaughlin is the same police officer seen in a viral video clip recorded January 22nd of a traffic stop in Vallejo. Adrian Burrell, a Marine veteran, said he was assaulted by McLaughlin and suffered a concussion just for filming the officer from his front porch. Now, I had said May, I think, earlier, because I was rereading that story. But the May story I was reading, I think, was where he was cleared of that January incident. So that was a January 22nd, 2019 incident. I was reading a May story. I think May is when he was cleared, and they said, oh, he did nothing wrong. So if I said May earlier, come on, guys, it's 7:17 in the morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet. So finishing this up, some of the encounter was captured on video, and Burrell, 28, posted the encounter to Facebook and provided it to Bay City News. He has retained a civil rights attorney, John Burris, who called the case egregious and said the officer's use of force was unnecessary and unreasonable. Since these 2 incidents, the city of Vallejo has invited community relations help from the U.S. Department of Justice and has hired an independent firm to assess its police department. You damn well better. This isn't one-time incident. We go, maybe, maybe not. This cop has 2 video incidences capturing his, in my opinion, anger management issue. And he's still on patrol. He's still out there violating people's rights. Welcome to law enforcement, people. Welcome to America. Now, I do editorials. I try to do 5 a week. And in most cases, I can do 5 a week at minimum. Sometimes I do more. But at minimum, I try to do 5 editorials a week. Plus cop watching on the weekends. Plus I cop watch during the week. And my point is, I'm seeing time after time after time after time, officers do what they want. They get away with it because they have a badge, and their sergeants are going to say, well, come on, man, you didn't really treat the officer right. Well, usually when someone's bullying you, and I'm talking nationwide, like in this one here, usually when someone's bullying you, you don't go, okay, man, I love you, don't hurt me. No, men stand their ground. And I'm not talking about when you're wrong and the cop's doing his job. I'm talking about when a cop just loses control. That motorcycle one, where he took that Marine veteran to the ground, he was dead effing wrong. But he was cleared because we can't. Come on, man. If we say he was wrong, then we face lawsuit. So he was right. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Yeah, it pisses me off. I got to go, guys. Thank you for watching. Let you know what's going on with Leos across your community and across the nation. This guy, David McLaughlin, in my opinion, he's got an anger management problem. And nobody's doing anything about it. Now, we're going to see if the Department of Justice can come in and help a little bit. Vallejo. Listen here, Vallejo. Okay, if anybody from Vallejo, California watches my video right now, you see a police officer, you see flashing blue and red, or sometimes when you're behind the car, you can see yellow. You see any flashing cherries, berries, or lemons, you get out, you walk up there, and you record it with your phone or camera or anything you've got that records. Most people just have a smartphone on them. It has a camera. I mean, all smartphones have a camera now. You record it, and you post it, and you let everybody know the truth, whether it's good or bad. If the cop did his job and he was professional, he was very nice, and he said, how you doing? We've got a couple of deputies here that really just absolutely love people, and I mean, they're nice. And then we've got some that are assholes. And I don't mean anybody in particular. I just mean I get some real glares from, oh, if looks could hurt, I'd be wearing a cast right now all over my body. So, guys, look, if you're in Vallejo, if you see a cop, you better start recording because they're out of control, guys. Thank you for watching. Happy Hump Day, and I will talk to you again, if not today or tonight, tomorrow with another editorial.